Hello, Future Bestsellers. We are super glad to see you today. Sorry we are a few minutes late getting going live today. We had a little microphone problem where we realized that my favorite little pair of blue headphones gone.
Ooh.
Gone and dead. I know, right? It's terrible. So, how's everybody doing with the weather? How cold is it?
Oh my God.
So cold. But
It's
I'm
cold.
sure, Robert, you are suffering through more cold than I am.
Yeah, we're like sub-zero temperatures. In the last couple of days, it's been about 10 degrees. 10, 12 degrees has been the high. And we've had piles of snow. I mean, in our parking lot, it's like mountains of it now because we just got dumped.
Yeah, it was same here.
Yeah.
We're not like, I think we will technically hit -1 sometime later this week, but mostly it's just been like highs in the upper teens and lows in the single digits, which is still pretty cold.
I think our low was like -7 or -9 at one point.
That's crazy. That's crazy. We were below freezing last night. We were like in the high 20s. But here's something crazy for Saturday night. There is a 6% chance that we are going to get snow on the Gulf Coast of Florida
really?
because of something called I think it's called the Gulf, I don't know what it's called. Something like the Gulf snow effect or anyway, it has some, like all the conditions have to be right, but we are looking at a possible 1/2 to 1 inches of snow in Florida, which is
crazy.
It's insane.
Very crazy.
I sort of want it to happen.
Like, well, that's
right?
nice, an inch of snow.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a rarity.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's a little crazy. So let's say hi to our friends. Hi, it's Cool Gamer. Hey, Cool Gamer. We're super happy to see you this morning. Let us know if you're freezing your butt off or something else. Hey, free range female. Super excited to see you. Laura Nettles is here. Hi. We are super happy you are here today. 49 degrees this afternoon. This afternoon it'll be 70. Right? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's probably about
California.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to hit somewhere in the 60s today, but it'll be like 29 again tonight. We had to bring the space heater into the bedroom, which is usually just for my office because I'm kind of a baby. So anyway, I'm super excited. I did want to say, I want to give a little shout out. Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Katie, aka Lainey Davis, is in the hospital this week.
Oh.
She, let me see if I can, wait, did I do it? Hold on. Oh, it already passed. Sorry, now we're going to see my whole thing. I left it up just for this. All right, never mind. You can see that I'm like, can't make Facebook work. Anyway, so hold on. I think they changed the layout again. Now I can't make it stop. God dang it. What? Stop screen. There we go. Okay, sorry. There's nothing more fun than find out StreamYard like change the layout on you and you can't figure out what to do.
Super fun.
Yeah, so Katie, they were in California. I think it was California. They were somewhere. I think it was out west. And flew back to her home of Pittsburgh, which was going to get 10 to 20 inches of snow that day. And it's funny because we had been texting when she was on the plane, and then I just didn't hear from her for a couple of days. And this morning I saw that she had made an announcement on Facebook, which is the only reason why I'm sharing any of this because it's public already. She made an announcement on Facebook that she had gone into the hospital thinking it was maybe gallbladder issue, and they are not sure. It's not that. So, but they're doing a bunch of tests on her and trying to figure out what's going on with her. So,
well, that sucks.
Yeah.
We love her. She's an awesome part of our little community here, and I just wish her well and hope everything.
Yeah, same.
So, oh, good gracious. Free range female says 22 degrees here in Southwest Missouri this morning. Balmy compared to earlier this week.
Right. Yeah.
Laura says, I did my time in the snow, lived in Toronto from 2016 to 2024. Before that, I went to college in Utah. So I grew up in Denver. So I escaped to Florida for college. And really, I mean, I've lived in other places, including Edina, Minnesota, which is a Minneapolis suburb. We lived in a number of places, but I've lived here for a very, very long time. And I've always loved Florida weather, but I will tell you, I went to Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago and it snowed on the day that I left. And then this whole weird possibility with it maybe it's going to snow in Florida. And I'm feeling a little nostalgic for my childhood. Parts and so although I heard from someone that kids don't get snow days anymore, that they have to do school remotely. And I'm like, this feels like a terrible mistake that must be rectified.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's like the one great thing about living in a snowy community is that occasionally it's sunny, it dumps a ton of snow on you, and you get to play outside all day. Like that is.
Yeah, I used to love the snow. I mean, it's beautiful in its own way, but the older I get, the less I like it.
You don't want to drive around in it. You don't want. I totally get that.
It's cold. New York hasn't had a winter like this in quite some time. Oh, this is really cold and a lot of snow.
Have you seen pictures of the Hudson River?
No,
like,
actually,
the ferries are going across and there's just giant chunks of ice floating on the water, and it's like they're sailing through the Arctic.
I would like be having Titanic terror attacks every time I got on a ferry. I'd freak out. Free Range Female says, I'm the reverse. Grew up in Southeast Texas, moved to the Ozarks in the 80s, showing my age. I hate winter with a fiery passion. I used to. I mean, I really felt like that all the time until this year. So yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with some writing sprints.
Yeah.
Dying to know what everybody's working on today, so we'll get this. We'll chit chat about it after the break. Let's see what I've got here. I have to figure out StreamYard. I can turn it off. I just can't turn it, or I can turn it on. I just can't turn it back off. Okay, everybody. So let's do our very first 5-minute warm-up sprint. We're going to get our documents open, get everything taken care of that you need to, and come back and chat about what we are writing about today. All right, everybody. Here we go. We'll get started. 2, 1. Let's write. All right, we are back. Let's get rid of that. All right, fantastic. Okay, how'd everybody do on that last chat?
Pretty
What did
good.
everybody do on the last sprint, not the last? Good. Oh, Michelle's muted. Hold on, that was my fault. All right. So, what are you guys working on today?
Ghostwriting thing.
Yeah. How about
I went back to the horror novella I was working on last month. It's been set aside for about 30 days. And with everything else going on, it was the easiest thing to work on to keep myself distracted and occupied. So I'm actually fairly involved with the story. I don't think it's shaping up to be that bad. I'm going to look to send it out to a couple of people probably when I finish it up next month and get it copywritten. So if there's any of our regulars in chat that want to be a beta reader, just let me know at storydetective@gmail.com, and you could read a short horror novella, provided you don't mind reading horror. It's not like ultra gory. I tried to make it like my take on 80s horror movies from John Carpenter or Stephen King. So there's some gory scenes, but it builds up. I didn't want to have gore for the sake of gore. You know, I wanted it to mean something.
We got to get the horror on this. That's it. That's like one of his favorite. I mean, 80s horror. You can't beat that. So that's awesome.
Yeah. I think we're just going too far in the horror thing with making it the same pointless stuff all the time, and it's gore for the sake of gore. And I sort of got out of horror. I used to love it, and I'd watch every new horror movie that came out, and then it was like a group of college kids go over here and this happens to them. A group of college kids go there and blah, blah happens. And it's like, it's the same story, but with a different monster or set of circumstances and some college kids that act like assholes, and you don't care if they get killed by the monster. It's almost kind of therapeutic when they do.
Yes. Love that. Totally love that. Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. All right, you guys, let's see what we've got in the chat. Oh, for me, I have to figure out what I'm working on today. I typically on Sunday night or Monday morning will like write out my to-do list for the week. And I did not do that this week. I keep going and I'm doing stuff and all that. But what I've realized is I've felt very like lost. I feel like I'm not being productive and like oh my god, I can't even say it. See what happens when I don't make my to-do list for the week? I don't even know what I'm doing. So anyway, so that's where I'm going. Okay, so I'm doing that first for our first 20-minute sprint, and then I will get down to some actual creative work. But this is like frying my brain. Okay, so let's see what everybody is doing today. Dun, dun, dun. Laura's working on a slideshow presentation for a video going over all my WIPs. So many. Love that. That sounds like a fun project. Daisy's here. Hello. Super glad to see you today. Hello, Danielle. We're glad you're here today. Danielle's working on a club scene. So my characters can connect for the night, but I don't party, drink, or go out, so I'm worried how stiff and weird this
I would not be able to write against the club scene.
We all have that experience. Everybody at some point, every writer at some point writes a scene that they would never or have never been in themselves. So you'll just have to wing it. Which you already know you're doing it. But you know what you can do? You can get a couple party girl beta readers and just make sure that there are no false notes, but you'll be fine. Everything. Well, that's not true. Some of what you've seen is true. All right. Hello. Eva's here. So nice to see you. We missed you. Laura's like, Eva. So very glad to see you. Eva says, Robert, hugs and comfort to you. January's almost over. I hope February is looking brighter. It is for me.
Yeah. There's still a little holdover, unfortunately, with all kinds of stuff. But, you know, we don't want to drag the stream down.
I know we're like, like this. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we could all be together today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to keep going. We're doing that. We're doing this, you guys. We can make it. Okay.
Yes.
Danielle says, I keep thinking of another way for them to meet, but I've got nothing. Interesting. I wish I knew more. We could do a little brainstorming with you. That would be kind of fun. Eva says, Laura, I stayed up too late and it's your fault. Ha! Somebody wrote something awesome. Very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. Eva says, I don't think our cult thing works in this chat, but I love you. You guys are great email. I spent the whole time formatting a new chapter, working on my romantic thriller. Very nice. Eva took today off. Oh, I love this. 0 lists, and I'm not meant to do things today.
Nice.
That is awesome. Awesome. Very, very, very nice. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Laura says, I've also never been to a club, but have written club scenes. Oh, this is so sweet. We love you guys. Okay.
It's appreciated. Very much appreciated.
My 21st anniversary is today. Passes out cake to everyone. You know what? We have one thing that we can do, but we are going to do it. Yay! We're so glad for you. Congratulations to you. That is super awesome. Avi's here. Hello, Avi. We are so glad. Oh, no. Happy Wednesday. Got some bad news, so I'm hoping for a good laugh. Oh, my gosh. All right. We love you. We're going to provide. We're going to make it happen. Vixen's like, cake. Yeah, me too. All right, you guys. We love you. Let's get some writing done, and we'll come back and deliver on the laughs. We'll see how we're gonna make that happen.
We'll try.
Right. That's all right. Well, we're gonna try. We're gonna do our best. So, all right, here we go. Let me get our screen up here. All right, there we go. All right, everybody, we're gonna do our first 20-minute writing sprint. Do your best. You're gonna do a great job. All right, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. All right, there we go. Hold on one second. So weird to do this without my headphones on, because then when the thing starts like going again, I can hear the music, but you guys can also hear the music. So, all right, let's get all this going off. Okay, so I kind of have like a little bit of a block today. I was trying to think of something funny. And the only thing that I could think of was that today I saw a video where this cat was dragging what essentially looked like a plastic shoebox up a flight of stairs, like to great, peril, right? So drags this shoebox, but it's like a plastic one, up a flight of stairs, and then gets in it and rides it back down to the ground like a slide. And then I was reminded of the fact that when I was a little kid, my brother and I used to put our cat in a box and give him a slide down the stairs. And my mom would be like, "Don't do that. You're going to freak out the cat." But he loved it. And then here I see a cat on the internet today dragging this box up the stairs on his own so that he can slide it back down into the, anyway. Sorry. That's all I've got today. I'm so sorry.
There's a couple of
apologize.
They're making their own humor.
There are some good jokes in the chat.
Are there? All right, hold on. I'm not getting them. Wait. Let's see. I'm almost done. This writer for I've accepted this will never end. Okay, this is good. Writer, an editor, and a beta reader walk into a bar. The writer orders a drink. The editor shuts cutting in half. The beta reader says, "I like the first bar better." Thank you for your range email. You have accomplished our goal. Thank you very much. See, funny happened, not because of us, but because of you guys. So I'm very glad about that. Avi is working on spooky middle grade stories, 13 stories, 13 teens, a cursed cottage. It's a Hansel and Gretel retelling. Oh, I love it. Retold by the witch. I love it. Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Love rooting for the villain.
Yes, right? Funny cat videos are my, right? I love it. I love these little tiny, they're hilarious. I saw that. I do not typically watch cat videos, but they have been coming into my feed more, and I keep liking them, and that's why I keep seeing more.
Wait, Lisa, do you know the Sail Cat video?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna put this link in the private chat because if you play it, everybody will be able to hear the music as well, which is very important. Let me just find this video. It's like 10 seconds long, and it is the funniest thing on the internet, in my humble opinion.
I love it. Okay, that's what we. So while we're looking for that, I will say that I also saw a video where a cat's like meowing and meowing to be let outside, and the cat mom says, "Okay, but only 30 minutes." So they let the cat outside, and it runs straight for the trampoline. And the cat's like bouncing itself around on the tram. And at first it's like, "Why are you filming me? I'm just having my private time out here." But then it doesn't care. And it's just having a great old time on the trampoline. So speaking of Michelle, love Michelle's hair color. So there you go. Writers love feedback, especially the kind that starts with, "I didn't finish it, but
yeah, that's always nice."
Right. I know this is true. And right now I'm okay with my feed being overrun by cats. Lots and lots of cats and cute squishy babies. I'm totally good with that. I would like more squishy babies and cats in my life about now. Plus, also, we lost Odie over the summer, and I'm not quite ready yet to get a new family manager. However, I really miss it. All right, so here we go, everybody. We are going to play Michelle's Joy.
What Michelle says is the funniest video on the internet.
coming up right now. This is exactly what we need, everybody. Here we go. Hold on. Let me make it big so we fully enjoy it. All right, here we go. Okay, that was hilarious. So and there's no way, like the music. You are absolutely right. The music is
perfectly.
Right, it really does. That is hilarious. Oh my gosh, everybody is dead. Oh, that's funny. So much, Avi. What's your pet nickname? Mine's Kitty Big. I love that. That's so funny. All right. Yeah, the music definitely makes this. The music definitely makes it. Love that. That is. All right, you guys, let's get some more work done, shall we? That was just the kind of break that we needed. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Michelle. I was really at a loss. So thank you for sharing. That's amazing. All right, let's go ahead and do our next 20-minute writing sprint.
All righty.
There we go. All right, here we go. Everybody. 20 minutes on the clock. We're going to write as fast as we can, and we will come back for a little more chit chat. Here we go. Ready? 3, 1. Let's sprint. All right. How'd everybody do in that last sprint? Let us know
Great.
in the chat. Yay, fantastic. So I was furiously trying to private message Robert and Michelle in the
Oh,
in the private chat because we're gonna have a guest.
hey, that's
Yay!
great. Of course.
So,
I'm sorry I didn't see that.
yeah. No, totally fine. I'm going to bring her to the stage right now. Here is Lisa Earl McLeod. Hi, everybody. Yay.
Hi.
So-
I've been listening in, and I
So,
did my 20 minutes.
You did your 20-minute sprint. Good job. So for those of you guys who do not know, Lisa McLeod is like my best and oldest friend. We've been friends forever. We actually met because our first books came out, my dating book and her like Forget Perfect book, which was a fantastic book, came out around the same time, approximately 1 million years ago. And we have been besties ever since. But a few years ago, and Lisa's written a number of best-selling nonfiction books, and she has a giant consultancy firm, and she's a huge deal. But a few years ago, you are, right? You are a huge deal. So, but a few years ago, Lisa made an interesting decision. Tell us all about it, Lisa.
So thank you. And I will say that Lisa Daly is the reason that some of my books were actually successful. She helped me structure them, and she also helped me get on the Today Show, which was a big deal. It was her pitch that got me on the Today Show. So she has been instrumental in my development as a writer. So about 2 things happened within a period of about 2 days, about 3 years ago. Number one, I was seated with a group of fellow executive coaches, leadership authors. Between us, we probably had 50 books, some of which had been bestsellers. And what are we all talking about? Ted Lasso. That is what we are all talking about, is how Ted Lasso had a huge impact on leadership culture. And that's one conversation. 2 days later, I listened to the Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Jane Fonda podcast about what are you going to do with your third act. And Jane Fonda talks about being 59, which is the age I was when I was listening to this, and what you're going to do with your third act. So based on those 2 minor anecdotal experiences, I decided I should be a TV writer. So I went based on no skill or expertise, just those 2. So I went back to school. I applied to a program, as fortune would have it. 2 days later, I met someone and said, hey, what have you been up to lately? She goes, well, I'm doing this MFA program at University of Georgia. And it was a narrative nonfiction, but they have a screenwriting program. So I applied. I actually got in. I found out later I was the only person that didn't submit a script for their, application, but I copy pasted the best parts of my book. So whatever. So I got my MFA in screenwriting. I've written a couple of scripts. I wrote one that made it to the finals of the Austin script competition. And I have another one that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it did.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have a very special thing that we do here. That's awesome. I had no idea.
It did.
Oh
So,
okay. Go.
Not the finals like 5.
Some bestie I am. Holy shit.
But, yeah. But the top percent. So anyhow, so I was on this writing sprint, and I have a challenge for this group. So I have an opportunity for one of my scripts to get it in front of a well-known actress, whether she'll look at this for one page and go, what's this? Or whether she'll go, I've been waiting for a script like this all my life. We're going for option B. Okay. I have a challenge on this script. I got about a week to solve it. So I was calling Lisa saying, can you help me with this? And she goes, I can do you one better. I have a team of people who love a challenge. So are you all up for it?
Sure.
We're up for it.
Writing brainstorm. Okay. So here's the scenario. And I'll tell you exactly what I need help with. I was writing this down. This also helped, as I'm sure you know. I used the writing challenge to write down what my problem was. And my problem is backstory. Because in a TV script, as I have learned, I thought it was writing the scenes and the dialogue. No, the scenes and the dialogue write themselves after you get really clear on your characters. I know you all already know this. I continue to not know this information and continue to write the scenes in the dialogue. So I've got a situation. I remember Lisa telling me many years ago, it's all about the characters. And I was like, no, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? No, it's about the characters. So anyhow, your advice is coming back. My character. So I have a cheating scenario that I need to explain. My character is an interior design influencer who is going to find out at the end of the pilot that her boyfriend is actually married. And she thinks, I know it happens. And he needs to be not a terrible person. He is not a serial cheater. So I need some work on his character. And what I have for him is they met at a wine party. She assumed he was the winemaker. He is not the winemaker. He's the wine distributor. He works for his father-in-law. He's not from Paris, France. He's from Paris, Texas. But our little influencer, who's not young, she's like 50 and she's had some bumps in her life, but she's always looking for how things look and how they look pretty. So she meets this guy and she just puts a suit of clothes on him that fits her little image around, oh, you're a winemaker. That must be fascinating. Tell me, what do you do? And they proceed to sit there over wine and get drunk. And she goes, oh, what's it like in Paris? And he does this fake French accent. And he's a middle-aged guy that works for his father-in-law. And for the first time in 15 years, somebody is looking at him with shiny eyes. And she's not dumb. And she's not some 20-year-old.
She's envisioning all the pictures in the vineyard and the kissing photo at the Eiffel Tower.
Right. And his little contrived French stubble and his little pressed jeans and his Gucci loafers. Like, she takes all that and says, this is it. Oh, she comes from a scrappy blue collar background and she's trying to make it as a designer. And mostly she's just an influencer. So why would the question is now, and there's one man in the room that's going to have to speak for his entire
Robert is insightful and he's up to the task.
So why would she? So she puts this suit of clothes on him, and I'm pretty grounded in her as a character. I've been living and breathing her. But why would he? I can get my mind around why he would be drunk and see this and sleep with her. But why does he let the relationship continue? He's a passive guy. His wife is coming to America in like 6 months. So he knows, this isn't going to be. Why would he continue it? Why would he let that roll?
Well, he sleeps with her. That's a new piece of information there that I had some thoughts. But if he's sleeping with her and he's not exactly a bad guy, the only thing I can think of is
you can't square those two, that he's sleeping with her. He's not a bad guy.
I can if they have an open relationship between.
They do not.
Wife. Okay.
Let me rephrase it. He's not an awful guy.
Right.
That make it better.
Okay.
He's the kind of guy that would do this but feel guilty about it.
And he hasn't done it before.
Right. Okay.
He hasn't done it before. He was in a very weak. I've been married for a long time. To the best of my knowledge, my husband hasn't cheated on me. He's been, but I also know marriage is complex. He's been. They're going through a bad time. He's feeling.
That's what I was going to ask.
Coward.
Yeah.
Very lonely. He's drunk. I can do a setup, but then the thing I'm having trouble squaring is, why does he let it keep going?
Yeah. So this is actually a really powerful universal fantasy about being swept out of your boring, doldrummy church on Sunday, PTO on Wednesday life and dropped into another exciting life. That is universal. We see it more with women in romance books, but it is a very powerful universal fantasy, and men have it too. A lot of men don't. Like, I would focus on the drudgery of his everyday life, and that all of a sudden with this woman, what is the thing he's getting out of it emotionally? He's probably getting some stuff checked off of his bucket list. This lady is looking at him in a way that his wife hasn't looked at him for a long time. She
will probably never look at him again, because after she married him, she realized he was weak And
Yeah.
he was not going to partner with her to take over the family farm vineyard.
Right.
He was going to do it, but he's not awful.
Right. Right. So that's it, like that he's recreating his identity to better match what he always hoped he would be, but
Yeah.
has live up to in his real life. To me, that's what that.
Yeah, maybe he is caught up in the idea of it if she's not looking at him that way, that this is kind of like, especially if he's drunk and then he's into this thing and then he keeps it going because it's fulfilling some part of him.
Right.
But on another aspect, does he maybe think that, you know, sleeping is a way out of his marriage if things aren't going well at the time that they slept together, and then he's just continuing with it because of the sin has already occurred? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting it. He knows he's deceiving her by playing into her expectations. Yes, exactly. He knows he's deceiving her. And I think he's maybe not, he's not dumb, but he's not that smart. Like, and he's not emotionally in tune. I mean, we've all seen in real life these men that go, she makes me feel like $1 million, you know, she's the one. I mean, but I don't want to make him quite that much of a trope, you know?
Yeah.
So why would he? So they wake up the next morning and he's like, oh, fuck. And she's like, oh, you're so wonderful. Like, she assumes they're in a relationship. She goes from 0 to 60. That's her problem. She goes from 0 to 60. My manager calls me, I'm getting a deal on HGTV. You know, it must be that, you know. So this is part of her 0 to 60 personality. What would he just sort of go, oh, okay, I guess we're doing that? Like what?
Well, he's passive, right? But she's creating this identity for him that matches better with what he wants for himself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So his wife's creating, because he's passive, right? He's just floating along.
Yeah.
So his wife is creating, she has also created an identity for him.
You're the boss's son-in-law who needs to go out and manage the warehouse.
Right, exactly.
This woman is also creating another identity for him. So
right.
passive people do tend to follow people with strong will. So maybe now he's caught up in it and he's stuck.
What would be the things that she would do now from a plot standpoint that he would get caught up in, where she'd go, we're doing this and this? Like, I had a friend who did in vitro and went down the whole list, and then later her and her husband got divorced, and he said, well, you were really the one that wanted the kids.
Yeah.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
So he knows the next morning and does that. Oh, what free range female just said.
Yeah.
Hates conflict.
To her, he doesn't want her to hate him. If he thinks of him as being passive and he's just floating along with whatever stronger woman he's with, and she's not the influencer isn't necessarily stronger, but she has that energy because she's
stronger than him for sure.
And she sees this future, even though it's just in Instagram photos or whatever, you know.
Right. And it's all about,
you can already see their adorable children in matching outfits running down the vineyard, you know, down the paths.
She's 50. That ship has sailed.
Okay.
But
maybe they're adorable grandchildren. Yeah. Whatever.
This free range female, what you just said, doesn't want him to hate her. He doesn't want it, conflict avoidant. That's why he lets it go.
Yeah.
And I need her to look back and realize when the whole thing blows up. Oh.
And since all stories are about growth, you know, his problem is he gets caught up in these things and he doesn't have the courage or the wherewithal to just make a decision for himself. I mean, that's his underlying flaw. And I think if you take it from that point of view, you can kind of see that he needs to grow up and make some decisions for himself.
That's it. He can't make decisions. And it's one of the things, this is what was missing and why his dialogue was falling flat. One of the things I learned, and you might already know this, he
definitely knows this.
Yeah. The hack for me in screenwriting that a very well-known one of the mentors told us was, I always think when I think about a character, I think about what is the number one thing you need to know about this person, and what behavior would indicate that, and how do I show it in the first scene?
Yeah, well, that's what Saul Stein taught me. He said every character has a different script, and if you
Yeah.
understand their script, you know their motivation.
Yeah.
So that's the point that's missing, is his motivation.
His motivation. That's what I couldn't get. Oh my gosh. Massive people pleaser. So what is, if you were to describe his,
Hang on. We got to think about this. We're going to talk about it. One more question, and then we're going to go to a writing sprint, and we're going to think about this, and we'll come back and talk about it some more.
you're
So
going to make me write it? God damn. It was so much more fun to talk about it.
isn't that the truth?
God, you guys are good, man. I can't tell you how much you all have helped me. I hope I didn't hijack the thing. I asked her.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. We got to get over people this sprint. So, all right. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more about this.
Okay.
But first, we're going to do a sprint. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Here we go. All right. All right, you guys, 20 more minutes on the clock. Let's get this done. We're going to get some writing done. Lisa, your assignment is to write yourself some character notes. Here we go. Starting in 2, 1. Let's sprint. All right, we are back. Let's get rid of that. So before we go any further, let me get to the news really fast because it is Wednesday. So hold on just 1 second. Here we go. I will never not love that. I will never not love that. All right. So, in the news for today, here's what's going on. Yesterday, the Washington Post reported that newly released legal documents revealed that AI company Anthropic, they're the ones that just lost the big lawsuit, engaged in a project to physically scan millions of printed books and cut them from their bindings in order to train large language models like Claude. The scale of the scanning effort, disclosed through the litigation filings, has really intensified the scrutiny about how AI firms are sourcing and repurposing copyrighted works. Does not, like, that just that sentence even seems problematic. They're not repurposing, they're just outright stealing stuff. I think this is kind of a cool thing. Both of the Carnegie Medal winners who just recently won the 2026 Andrew Carnegie, or Carnegie, depending on where you're from, medals for excellence in fiction and nonfiction. And I cannot pronounce either name, Megda Majumdar and Yian Li, both emphasize the formative role of public libraries and community spaces and how that played in their development as writers. And as the world has caught on fire, let's please all thank our local librarians, because they do a lot of services in the community, like providing showers for homeless people and just a space for people to be. They help people register to vote. They help you get your passport. They'll help you research your paper. Librarians are the great unsung heroes of our communities, and we should give them all the love that we can.
Yeah.
If you are an author who is interested in writing children's or young adult books, you might want to pay attention to the fact that Jenna McIntosh is the new publishing services director over at Walker Books. And, you know, people like to put their stamp on things when they are new. So my guess is this is probably a very good time to pitch Walker Books. Last thing, we're seeing more and more evidence in the shift for indie authors in print distribution in particular, that major retailers have been deprioritizing independent print books in wide retail channels. And at the same time, indie authors are really increasingly relying on direct-to-reader storefronts and selling directly from their own sites, as well as, you know, selling on Amazon and other online retailers. So that's something that you definitely want to pay attention to. For sure, it has absolutely changed my business. And that's it for today for the news in publishing. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we got to get back. We've got a few more minutes. Let's get back to Lisa McLeod's question. I thought this comment was really okay. First of all, yes, shout out to all librarians. I thought this was really hilarious. Abby says, nicest hijacker ever. Vixen says, brainstorming is so fun. This was, I thought, such a great comment. And I think we talked about it a little bit before. It's mundane to him, but it looks like he's complying to the wife, but it's idealized to the female main character. So the influencer, he allows them both to see him how they want. And I was saying, like, yes, he's a mirror of them. He's reflecting back what they are reflecting onto, or what they are, you know, projecting onto him. Love that. Danielle figured out her club scene. Danielle was writing a club scene, but is not a club person or a drinker. Move the location and change the POV. You know what's crazy is I actually thought that, and I didn't say it because I assumed there was some reason you were putting it. But that is a great solution. Congratulations. Reading list for today. I've talked earlier about the universal fantasy about being taken out of being taken out of your more mundane, boring life and being dropped into a much more interesting and exciting one, something we all occasionally fantasize about. The person who wrote the book Seven Figure Fiction by Theodora Taylor talks all about these universal fantasies. She is the person that like first kind of recognized this. Disclosure, she's one of my clients, but it's brilliant. It was like the first new thing I'd seen in publishing in about 1,000,000 years. Mm-hmm. And of course, shout out to librarians because we love them. All right, let's talk. So this is really funny because Lisa never does chat. And when she was chatting with me when we first went into the sprint, she was saying, she had asked me a question and then she said, damn, this is so helpful. Let me keep writing. As in, stop texting me. I have to get my thoughts down. Okay. What do we got, Lisa? How did you do on that sprint? Everybody let us know. And you in particular.
Robert's visceral reaction to they slept together the first night. Why is he doing this? I have read and watched so many things where there was not a woman in the room where they wrote it. Mm-hmm. And I could tell. And I just went, shit, I did the same thing. There wasn't a man in the room.
There was no man in the room.
So you so represented your species.
I'm glad.
So, thank you. Thank you. It was like a regular guy wouldn't do that. So here's what I rewrote. They met, and all of this backstory is going to come out in episode 2 or 3. Because the pilot is about her, and I need some backstory. I need just a little bit to explain why he's doing the things in my mind. Now they'll come out. So they met at a wine event. She made assumptions. He said he had a new house. She said, oh, why don't I just take you shopping? I'm a decorator. So they're both seeing each other the way they want to be seen. She's really just kind of an influencer, works at a hardware store. He's really just kind of the front man, not the real guy. So he thinks it's a harmless flirtation. Chloe, my wife said I was supposed to fix this house up. So they go out shopping for furniture and they spend, like she arranges it. They meet the day or so later. They go shopping for furniture and they spend a whole day seeing each other the way they want to be seen. And it's like crack to both of them. He's seeing her as this great decorator. She's taking him from store to store. She's seeing him as this winemaker. They end up back at his house because you got to do some measurements, make sure this stuff is going to fit. They haven't eaten enough. They start drinking champagne. Now they're drunk and they've had this intoxicating day. Then they fall into bed. And they're already at a place where there's a bed and there's not much else there because they're sitting on the bed because there's no furniture. So feels a little better. Next morning,
a lot better.
A lot better for how they got together. So then the next morning they wake up. He has to leave for France. He's like, what have I done? She's looking around the place. To your point, Lisa, it's not the kids and the grandkids. It's I'm lady of the manor. This place looks great. I just found my man. I've been looking and I've been let down by all these plumbers and electricians I've been dating.
Lady of the Manor is that's exactly it. Yeah.
I'm jumping a social class here. I've been trying to do this my whole life. I'm jumping 3 social classes. So then she sees herself as that. And he's like, wants to be nice. And he's like, well, I've got to leave for France. Get yourself some coffee, and I'll catch you later. Thinking, these are how one night stands go, right? I've never had one, but surely she'll know just to leave. No, she does not. What does she do? She sees some art over there. She goes, you know what I can do for him? I can decorate this place up while he's gone. So she gets the whole thing, the furniture. You know what? We said 2 weeks. Can you get it here in 1? So she lives for the moment that they show on HGTV when the person comes in and they love their house so much, they fall in love with the person who did it. So she does this whole house. Texts him and goes, I have a surprise for you. And she's kind of waiting when he comes back. And she's done this house in a masculine way. And it's the first time that he's had someone put him in a long time, that someone's put him front and center. And she says, I thought about what you said about you like lacrosse or whatever bullshit, and I did this and I did this for you. And he feels seen for the first time in his life. And he can't give it up. And that's how they end up together.
And that
better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can he get into
Sorry.
Robert?
Yes.
Can he be a halfway decent guy and this happened to him?
He could, but I think if you want to show him as a halfway decent guy that's caught up in the moment, at the end, there needs to be either some question of, now he realizes, and now there has to be some kind of change. Even if you leave that open to the audience's imagination, like, what's he going to do now?
Love. Yeah.
Okay. Because I got to show the change in
Yes.
him.
Yes.
Okay.
His script is flipped by the end of it.
Yeah. Okay. This is so helpful. One thing I thought about what the behavior that I wanted to show, and it was John Strauss. I don't know if you know who that is that said that to me. And the second you hear it, character trait, behavior, you can't unsee it. And what I've come up with is kind of weak, but I'm going to work on it. And having a few passive people in my life, passive men, one of the things I notice is when you pose a question to them, like, do you want to go here tonight? They answer, sure, as if it wasn't a question. That's what passive people do. They answer an actual question as if it was as if you said, let's do this.
So at the end, does the wife find out about it, or does he tell the woman he's having an affair with that he's married and he has to break it to her, and he's, physically not wanting to do that, but trying to stand up for himself and make the right decision? Or is it sort of like the scene at the end of Love Actually, after the guy is sort of having his fair affair of buying the chick the necklace, and then his wife meets up at the end when he comes back in the airport, and she's like, it's fine, life is fine, life goes on. It's like, what are they going to do next? So does the wife find out, and it's like,
the wife is going to find out because the whole thing goes live. The influencer finds out at her party because this big design influencer comes and recognizes him and goes, "Where's Chloe?" And our star is like, "Who's Chloe?" And the person telling the information has no idea. She's the bigger village. She goes, "Well, his wife. I knew Petey was here." He calls himself Pierre. "I knew Petey had come over, but isn't Chloe coming over?" So you know how you've seen those scenes where someone's revealing all the information and they don't even know they're doing it? Right. And this is at this big party that she staged. And so people are filming her reaction. So that's how the wife finds out.
I just had this odd thought from the wife's point of view, thinking, she tells him, "I've been wanting you to make a decision for yourself. I didn't want it to be this one."
Right.
Oh, so good.
All right.
Right. I've been trying to get you to make some decisions for yourself for 10 years. And this is the one you made. Yes. Oh my God, that's so good.
That is so good. All right. So you guys, this has been awesome. I hate to cut it off because it would be super fun to brainstorm all day, but we are all out of time. So before we go, let the fabulous Robert Jones, story detective, tell us all about himself and his awesome channel before we go.
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, and I take various forms of storytelling and place them under a Sherlockian lens and break down the craft for the viewer in hopes of making your craft journey easier. So check it out. There's a lot of videos in there, and hopefully a lot of help for you guys if you run into a problem.
There you go.
He's demonstrated his amazing skills today.
Sure did.
Wrapped around the action for the last 48 hours.
So true. So true. That is absolutely true. Michelle Schusterman, tell the fine people all about you and your awesome channel.
All right. I'm Michelle. I write young adult and middle grade novels. My channel's on hiatus, but you can find writing workshops, traditional publishing chat, and writing vlogs.
Thank you so much. Lisa McLeod, our guest. I guess we know a little bit about you. Right. But thank you so much for being here today and letting us brainstorm with you. We did not plan this. I'm sure you guys know this because Michelle and Robert didn't have any idea until it was happening.
No, literally Lisa said, "I'm working on a cheating husband problem. Can you help me?"
Like, yeah, I can do that. For those of you, oh, sorry, Robert, go ahead.
I said it was fun. That's kind of why we're here, right?
Oh, you guys are the best. Fun talking about writing. Speaking of talking about writing, hi, I'm Lisa Daly, and on my channel we talk about how to write a book you're super proud of and get it published. I did want to say before we go, thank you very much, Lisa, for saying such nice things about how I helped you in your writing career. But I will say you also really helped me, in particular, when I was writing my very first novel. I literally remember this. I was in a hotel room. I was at the Waldorf Astoria. You and I were talking on the phone, and you had read early pages of 15 Minutes of Shame. And you said, I can't wait to find out why he did it. Why oh God, cheating husband again. I can't wait to find out
I don't understand this at all.
why he did it. And it made me think, oh shit, I have to have a reason for why he did it. But that comment has literally informed every book I've ever written since then. And I got a stellar publisher's weekly review. It was my very first novel, and they said it had surprising depth. And every time I read that quote, I still think of you, and that I would not have that like fabulous quote if you had not asked that question on my very first book. So
what a full circle moment. I had forgotten that. I remember it now. And I'm like, okay, everyone wants to know why he did it. And I can't come up with a reason.
I do love. And you know what the other thing you did for me was that you said, when I sent you the pages of the book, and this is when Stop Getting Dumped was huge. I was doing television. I was speaking and all that. And it was bringing in a lot of money. And I sent you, I think, just a page or 2 pages of 15 minutes. And you read it and you said, this is what you're supposed to be doing. It literally changed.
The second I read it, I was like, exactly. You're not meant to give dating advice for the rest of your life. You're supposed to write this.
And here we are. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I just like, it's crazy as long as we've been like together, that not together, but together, how much of an impact you've had on my life. So anyway,
you're so great. And thank you, Robert. Thank you a lot.
You're welcome.
You guys are awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Sorry, we're running a little bit late, and I feel like Michelle had to pop out because she usually has a meeting at 1. So you guys are awesome. We will see you next week.
Take care, everybody. Keep those keyboards